Yo, welcome back to another video of me switch to glazing. Oh man, it's funny saying that out loud. But anyways, the reason I feel the Switch 2 will feel more like a generational leap over the Switch than the PS5 did to the PS4 is because of cross-gen or the lack of cross-gen support. That was one of the things that I absolutely hated about the PS5. Don't get me wrong, I understand the PS4 had a huge fan base. You know, there were so many units in households across the board. The thing sold extremely well, and it's hard to leave money on the table when you know those are guaranteed sales. But that also crippled the PS5 because all of those first party games were still releasing on the PS4, which made people feel like, why do I need to upgrade to the PS5? It didn't feel as if it was the most importance to get a PS5. Nobody prioritized that. I had friends who did not care. They wanted to play God of War Ragnarok. They knew that it was coming to PS4, and because of that, they were like, well, I guess I don't need to get a PS5. Me, on the other hand, I wanted the PS5 for God of War Ragnarok because I wanted to experience the game at its best. So with the Switch 2, however, there is going to be tons of first-party games that are not going to be on the Switch 1. Mario Kart World, one of those. Say what you will about the $80 price tag, but the thing is, you won't be able to play it anywhere else. The people who don't jump ship will start to feel as if they're missing out because they are. They're going to be sinking with that ship. So the only thing you can do at that point is buy the Switch 2 in order to play these games. If you want to still have those experiences, you have to make the transition. And there are several first-party Nintendo games that people love. I just pointed out Mario Kart as a launch title, but think about the next 3D Mario or the next entry to the Zelda series. And then you got games like Donkey Kong Bonanza that are also going to be exclusive to the Switch 2. So think about it. Once these games really start to flow in, people are going to say, man, I'm starting to really feel as if I'm missing out. And that will ultimately cause people to go ahead and buy the Switch 2 because they can experience those games on the Switch 1. And I think that's one of the things that will make the Switch 2 feel more like a generational leap than the PS5 was. And I do feel that's what hurt the PS5 a bit and made it not feel like the true successor to the PS4, because you have to make the consumer feel like the experience that you're giving them with this device is an experience they can't get anywhere else. And I think that's what Nintendo is going to do well with the Switch 2. Now, one could argue when it comes to Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart, that was the only PS5 exclusive that didn't have a PS4 version. Everything else though, Spider-Man Miles Morales, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, they all also came out on the PS4. That's a hard sell when you're trying to promote your next gen console to the consumer when only one of those games is exclusive to that platform. That's where they completely missed their mark, in my opinion. But like I said before, the PS4 had a large user install base, so quite naturally they wanted to still capitalize on that, but ultimately that was them shooting themselves in the foot. When you look at the Switch 2, what cross-gen game does it have that's a AAA first-party title that's also going to be on Switch 1? One might say Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but right now I don't think we know for sure if that game has a Switch 2 version or if it's just a Switch 1 game that you can buy and you can do the upgrade path to get the enhanced visual and fidelity features. So as it stands right now, there are no AAA first-party games on the Switch 1 that are also going to be on the Switch 2. Right now, what we are seeing for Switch 2 releases from Nintendo are exclusive, and that's the reason to buy the Switch 2. But what do you guys think on my take on this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you're new here and not subscribed to the channel, please do so, and be sure to turn on your notification bell so you'll know the next time I upload a video. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.